Generations of families continue to be drawn to the high-quality schools in the community of Alamo Heights ISD. The district is committed to high standards of academic excellence, providing safe, well-maintained schools, and preparing students for future success through engaging learning opportunities. The Alamo Heights ISD Board of Trustees voted unanimously to place a $371 million bond proposal before voters on Election Day, May 6. Bond 2023 would provide updated learning spaces for today's students and their curricular and extracurricular program needs. This bond proposal prioritizes safety and security initiatives, optimizes the use of district land, and allows the district to be better community partners with additional parking, improved traffic flow, and meeting spaces and outdoor fields for the use of our community. The call for a bond election is a result of an inclusive and comprehensive process that began more than a year ago and included facility needs assessment as well as the opportunity to gather input from AHISD stakeholders. The process began with a review of the master plan for facilities designed in 2016 that led to the first phase of construction after the voter approval of Bond 2017. 3 propositions are included in the Bond 2023 proposal. Projects would affect all students and staff in Alamo Heights ISD. New state law requires school districts to separate certain bond items into multiple propositions for voter consideration. Proposition A, at a cost of $344 million, would fund renovations and upgrades at all AHISD campuses. The majority of Alamo Heights ISD schools were built around the 1950s, and the average age of our buildings is 71.8 years, which requires responsive renovations. Howard Early Childhood Center, that serves our youngest learners, our 3, 4, and 5-year-olds, would receive a new building designed specifically for early childhood learners. This new facility would also include new outdoor learning spaces and new playgrounds. The building would be placed on the east side of the property, away from Broadway, with an entrance off of Lawrence. This new placement would facilitate the opportunity to address security, parking and traffic flow, and provide additional play areas. This new construction would provide the least disruption to learning for our youngest students, as the current school building would be utilized until the construction of the new building is completed. At Cambridge Elementary, the proposal includes a refresh of all classroom lighting, ceilings, paint, and flooring, science labs, cafeteria, and outdoor dining additions, kitchen upgrades, professional development space for staff, a new mechanical system, and more efficient plumbing, HVAC, and electrical systems. At Woodridge Elementary, the proposal includes a refresh of all classrooms, science labs, and the cafeteria serving lines, upgrades to the cafeteria acoustics, more efficient plumbing, HVAC, and electrical systems, and a new first and second grade playground. At Alamo Heights Junior School, bond funds would be used to refresh classroom lightings, flooring, paint, and ceiling tiles, renovate the cafeteria, auditorium, and restrooms, improve plumbing, HVAC, and electrical systems, and add parking and security lighting. A new 6th grade building would be constructed, along with the new competition and auxiliary gyms, weight rooms, multipurpose rooms, and locker rooms, new play areas, and a new synthetic turf field and track, reoriented from the current field position. Bond 2017 construction brought new academic, athletic, fine arts, and cafeteria facilities to the back portion of the Alamo Heights High School. Bond 2023 extends that work to the front portion of the campus. The school would receive new academic and administrative buildings, with the opportunity to update classrooms to today's standards in size, as well as to provide flexible learning spaces to meet unique program needs. The proposal also includes renovations to the auditorium, as well as a refresh of classrooms in the music building and additional outdoor courtyard space. The Excel and O9 academies would move from Robbins campus to the current administration offices on Broadway, bringing them in closer proximity to the high school staff and program offerings. A new central office learning center would be constructed across from the high school. All administrative offices would be located in one space, along with a boardroom, meeting rooms, professional development space, and additional parking spaces. The Robbins campus would also gain additional parking with the removal of the current building. A new softball field will be constructed here that includes bleachers, locker room facilities, and meeting spaces. Additional renovations will include the resurfacing of tennis courts and team spaces. Bond 2023 continues district efforts to prioritize safety with updated security cameras, access control, and the Raptor visitor identification system used at campuses. The proposal also addresses AHISD's cybersecurity position, including strengthening network infrastructure and monitoring, wireless access, and endpoint security protection. Also included are security lighting upgrades at the junior school, Woodridge, Howard, and plant services, and security fencing around new buildings like Howard. Safety is also addressed with improved traffic flow and additional parking around all campuses. Other district projects addressed in Proposition A include playground upgrades, furniture replacements, band instruments, new school buses, an additional bus maintenance bay, land acquisition, and sustainability initiatives like solar panels and LED lighting that would lower operating costs. Proposition B, at a cost of $17.3 million, would fund a visitor bleacher athletic facility at Orem Stadium. The visitor side of the stadium was constructed in 1947 and was not touched in previous bonds. This proposition includes funding for multi-purpose meeting space, new locker rooms, restrooms, concessions, team space, golf team practice area, and student sports media program equipment. Proposition C, at a cost of $9.7 million, would fund technology including student and staff devices. This proposition wouldn't fund additional devices, but maintain current levels through life cycle replacements. So what does Bond 2023 mean for Alamo Heights ISD homeowners? Taxpayers see one school district tax rate on their property tax bill. However, that one tax rate is made up of two components: the district's maintenance and operations, M&O, tax rate, and the interest and sinking, INS, tax rate. Revenues generated from the M&O tax rate are used to pay the district's operating cost, including salaries, utility bills, and maintenance expenses. The majority of the school district's operating costs fund salaries for teachers and staff. In Alamo Heights ISD, that's 90% of the budget. Revenues generated from the INS tax rate can be used only to repay outstanding district bonds. Similar to taking out a mortgage or a home equity loan for large home construction projects, districts rely on bonds to cover the large amounts that construction requires. Bond funds can't be used for operating costs or salaries. For the 2022-23 school year, Alamo Heights ISD will send $36.7 million of local M&O tax revenues to the State General Fund, referred to as recapture. That's 49 cents for every dollar of M&O tax revenue generated. INS tax revenues raised through the bond elections are not subject to recapture and would all remain with the district. Passage of all three bond propositions does not increase the overall tax rate. In fact, the overall tax rate is expected to decrease by 5 cents over the next 8 years. These estimates are based on current state law. Specifically, the bond proposition would result in an estimated 9-cent increase to the INS rate, and with an estimated decrease of 15 cents to the M&O rate due to compression, the overall tax rate will decrease. The estimated INS tax rate implication is estimated to be $8 per month for $100,000 valuation. Property taxes for senior citizens over the age of 65 and disabled persons are generally frozen as long as they've applied for and received an exemption from the appropriate appraisal district. Bond 2023 is part of a master plan to ensure that future generations of Alamo Heights ISD students learn in facilities that are up to current standards and include major upgrades and improvements district-wide, including safety and security. Election Day is Saturday, May 6th, and early voting runs from April 24th through May 2nd. You can learn more about the Bond 2023 proposal by visiting our website at www.ahisd.net/bond2023.